Welcome, everyone. Thank you for watching today. I'm Dr. Erin Mayfield, founder and CEO of my new medical practice, Lifestyle Medicine, Wellness, and Recovery. This is where we help people lose weight naturally, feel younger and stronger, and hopefully get off of medications. One of the ways that people are unfamiliar with and that they can lose weight naturally and eat delicious food with lots of protein is to focus on whole food, plant-centered eating. We all have experienced holiday eating with meals loaded with fat, salt, and sugar. So we created this holiday cooking series to demonstrate how you can cook some wonderful recipes that you'll love, and it will save you from gaining 5 pounds in December. Over the next month, your cooks will be physicians from the EntreMD Business School, and they are volunteering to cook in their kitchens to share some of their favorite plant-centered recipes. And of course, at the same time, they'll be talking about health tips, so you can't lose. This is going to be a lot of fun, and we hope that you can attend them all. I am thrilled to introduce our physician and cook for today's demo, Dr. Amanda Adkins. She is the CEO and founder of Enlightenment Health and Wealth and an internal medicine specialist in the San Francisco Bay Area. She loves to work with women to help them lose weight, prevent and reverse chronic diseases with a focus on plant-centered eating. She will talk to us about her journey and the services she offers. She's been so kind to pre-record her cooking class and will teach us how to make her favorite lentil dish. So we'll talk first and then we'll link into the cooking class. So welcome, Dr. Adkins. Her website is dramandamd.com, and we'll put all of this information in the show notes. So welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Erin. I'm so happy to be here, excited since we have the same mission out there in our plant-centered eating. Yes.
Oh, it is. And I've loved it myself. I fell in love with it about 10 years ago when I read Dr. Campbell's book, The China Study. You know, once I read that, it was all over. I was plant-based. So.
Yes. It is interesting that you say that. I actually learned about Dr. Campbell later in my journey. My actual health journey started when I was a teenager in high school. And it was more from being in a gym class and having to do all these physical fitness tests. And I just wasn't able to do it. And they actually had us weigh ourselves and we had to see what we actually weighed. Well, I knew by looking in the mirror, I was overweight, but I didn't realize how overweight I was until I actually stepped on the scale. And I actually weighed 199 pounds as a 14-year-old. And I can tell you, I was just devastated to see that number and seeing people in my family as they got older were overweight and, you know, they would get all these different chronic illnesses such as high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, all those things that are actually affected by lifestyle. I actually saw a glimpse of my future and I said, okay, there's no way I want to go down that pathway. So at the age of 14, and then at the age of 16, I decided to change my lifestyle. So I actually became a vegetarian at the age of 16. And people were like, why are you becoming a vegetarian? It's like, hey, I was trying to do something to lose weight, didn't really know where it was going. But unlike most people that become vegetarians, I was not a healthy vegetarian. So you may hear people talk about how they eat food. And now why we talk about actually whole food, plant-based. But I was a junk food vegetarian, I would call myself, eating McDonald's, my favorite meal, a Big Mac with no meat and a side of fries. So if you think about it, that actually is vegetarian because there's no actual meat in there. So I've actually gone through the journey of going from junk food vegetarian to more of a plant-centered base lifestyle. So now, what is it, maybe almost 3 decades later, actually on the journey. And so I tell people this is not a diet that I'm on, it's actually a lifestyle change that I made. And I actually didn't become plant-based totally until probably, I would say 4 or 5 years ago. So I've been vegetarian the whole time. And as people actually wonder how I stayed plant-based or vegetarian for so long. And I tell people, you know, you just start to feel better after a while. Like you start to say, okay, I'm sleeping better, or I have more energy, because I was, always sluggish, especially in residency. I would just eat anything, cheese, pizza, whatever we can get in the hospital cafeteria.
We were all like,
Yes, exactly. And so when I actually started to eat those whole foods and actually got those nutrients that my body needed, then my energy level started to come up. And that was huge for me, because I am a sleeper. I will sleep all day, all night and everything. So yeah, so that's my journey about plant-based, how I got here, and why I now want to encourage and actually help others do the same. So they may be in my same experience, to where they were overweight, they have a family history of, those different chronic diseases, and want to try to prevent that. And so that's why I help women who are overweight try to prevent or reverse chronic diseases.
yeah, that is fantastic. I know when I went through the lifestyle medicine curriculum, what was most fascinating to me, and I'd not had exposure to prior, was learning about how people actually have the power to change their DNA, that they don't have to be prisoners to their DNA. They don't have to assume that they're going to have heart attacks because their father or their brother did.
Right.
They can actually change that. They actually see those changes under the microscope when we eat whole plant foods, when we stay away from the junk, the salt, the fat. It's remarkable to me.
It is. Yeah, that was amazing to me also, because I hear people all the time, I know you probably do too in your practice, when you ask them, about, blood sugar, and they're like, well, everybody in my family had diabetes, so I know it's going to happen to me. And I'm just like shivering, like, no, don't let that be you. You can break that chain right here now and not pass it down on.
Yeah, absolutely. And because we've been inundated with this message for so long.
Right. Yes.
And the messages that we get through the marketing, through the food industry. I've been through the same type of journey with you, where I would try to avoid processed foods, but I didn't get the full scope of what processed foods were. And we're on a new mission now that plant eating and vegan is starting to become popular.
Yes.
But all of a sudden we're inundated with marketing for processed vegan foods that can have a lot of fat in them too.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially the desserts, ice creams, or the plant-based cheeses, and I tell people that's a good transition point, but you don't want to stay there, because a lot of people like we're going to show that you don't have to use those things to actually transition, but that just helps some people, because they were full-blown meat eaters, and that's all they can think about. And I tell people I understand, because my father actually was a meat delivery guy. So, we went from, hot dogs at every single birthday, bologna sandwiches, all sorts of things like that. So it's not like I don't understand. And so I definitely want them to see that that is a possibility. And I'm grateful for the food industry for helping with that, but we don't want to stop there. So it's not like, okay, I'll just go ahead and eat all these plant-based substitutes, and that my body will actually use those things instead of actually eating the whole food.
Yeah, exactly. That really won't promote weight loss or better health. But it's like you said, I would love to see, everybody has transitioned somehow.
Right.
We all look at what we're doing and pick and choose what we're ready to change, what we're not ready to change. And that can take years, and that's okay. Right. But we know that every step in that direction helps us feel better and really lose weight naturally.
Yes.
And it's just fun to cook. I never cooked before I was a plant eater. I just hated cooking, and I hated the cleanup. And the cleanup when you're working with animal products, it's just dirty, it's sticky, it's greasy. And plant-based cooking is so easy.
Yes.
It's so easy.
Yes. I can say I cook more now, but I can't necessarily say that I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy it more as I learn things that I like to cook and that are tasty. That's why I chose the lentil recipe, because that's what I could do quick. Actually, I just finished up another pot of lentils before we started today, because I'm going to have that for dinner a few days this week. And so that's my go-to. It's easy to do, like I said, easy cleanup. And so you can pick a few things that are easy to do, so it's not too overwhelming, because sometimes that's what people think, that plant-based cooking is overwhelming. So thank you, Dr. Aaron, for putting this on to show people that it's not too much
Yes.
to cook.
Yes, and all of the demos that we've done so far have been quick things. Everything we've cooked and we've put together in basically 30 to 40 minutes max, and that includes food prep. So it is doable.
Right.
Yeah, we will learn from each other, and hopefully people will see, this really is not hard.
Right.
It's a matter of having new ideas and learning how to put things together and finding things that you like. It's always about finding things that you like, that you enjoy.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And that's important because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like this type of vegetable. I don't like that type of vegetable. And so I'm like, yeah, until you've tried every single vegetable, you can't tell me you don't like vegetables. There's so many different ones to try, so many different preparations you can make and putting them together in different ways. And like I said, you just have to try so many different things before you find what you like. Because I can tell you the first time I tried to cook lentils, my husband was like, absolutely not. And now that's one of his favorite dishes.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's a learning curve, but it doesn't take long.
I know, no, not it long at all, right?
Yeah. And so if you would share for a minute about how fast your patients see their health benefits. What I've seen is that once they apply themselves to whole food plant eating, things start to happen pretty fast. And it's pretty exciting how fast they can drop medications and they feel better. So what has your experience been with your patients?
Yeah, so actually people start to feel more energy and less need for medication, just in a simple few weeks. And I usually tell people, especially my diabetics, that if they go in full plant-based, like from 0 to 100, like some of them are that motivated, then we have to know that, especially if they're on insulin, because their blood sugars will drop significantly, and we don't want that to happen. So I always caution people whenever I'm on any of these calls that you want to definitely work with your physician if you're on medication, if you decide to go full plant-based, because you can see some dramatic changes. For my women that are actually trying to lose weight, I do like a 5-day program, and they actually can, sorry about that. And they actually can lose weight. One of my clients actually lost like 7 to 10 pounds, somewhere in there, in the 5 days with their lifestyle change for plant-based. So that's not guaranteed. So I don't want someone to come thinking they're going to lose 10 pounds guaranteed, but that's just different for everyone. But yeah, you definitely can see some changes quickly. My biggest one when I started to do the program and go plant-based, like I said, it was the energy level, because I was dragging throughout the day, and just to see that change, I was like, that's what keeps me going, is to have that energy level, definitely.
Oh, that is fantastic. And so in your practice, you see people in person and virtual, or is it one or the other?
So in my actual internal medicine practice, I see people, well, in person and virtual, because we have that option for people that want to do virtual visits. That's more of the, come in, tweak your medications. I talk some about your diet, which I usually tell every new patient, every time you come in, I'm going to ask you what you're eating, are you exercising? Because those things are important, especially because a lot of my patients see that I'm not big on prescribing medications. So I tell them I will do it if needed, but I really want you to do the work in your lifestyle. So I get a lot of those people that don't want medications, they want the lifestyle changes. And then in my Enlightenment Health and Wealth program, it's actually all virtual.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that is wonderful.
Yes.
Congratulations on your practices.
Thank
You're
you.
just helping thousands of people, and it's such a great service and so desperately needed. And we're so excited to share your cooking video with everyone.
Yes. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and definitely try out lentils. They're very yummy. And I say in the video, what you can actually pair it with to actually help more. So thank you guys so much.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. It was so much fun talking.
Yes, you too. And thank you so much again, Dr. Aaron, for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.